What is going on, YouTube? I hope you guys are having a great day. As always, we are bringing you guys back for another video on the channel today. We're going to be doing a little bit of work on the Silverado. Let me just take you guys inside and show you. What up, boy?
Not much, man. Getting it taped up. Looks good now.
So basically what we're doing, guys, is this frame, we had previously undercoated everything and it looked good, but it had a lot of texture spots in it. Like there was a couple lines up here. So we used chassis saver, but I don't think we prepped it well enough. First did it. So you could take an air nozzle to it and kind of blow off in some places. And then there was like textured lines in it. And there was a spot back here that had blown a chunk out, and then we touched it up and you could see like lines where it was touched up. So basically we just sanded everything down with 40 grit and then 80 grit. Got everything prepped super well. All this stuff up here towards the top, we're just going to kind of try to blend that in. But this time we're actually painting it with the same paint that we painted the truck with. Just Chevrolet black paint. So this time around we're just going to primer it, probably 3 or 4 coats. Go ahead and paint it with the black Chevrolet paint. Hopefully it should look super smooth and just like a frame off restoration when we get done with it. But this side's still got a little bit more sanding to do in some of the tight places, like down in there, stuff like that. We're gonna go ahead and start doing some more sanding on this side. Dad's taking up the other side. I'm gonna set you guys up on a time lapse and just let y'all watch. Hope y'all enjoy the video.
Yeah. What's that furry thing you got on there? That looks like a walrus pecker. What the hell, boy? What the hell?
It's a microphone windscreen. Alright guys, let's check it out real quick. I'll show y'all. We got everything taped off underneath. We still got to cover this stuff up, but that's what we're doing with the plastic here. But wheel lights, everything's taped off, all completely covered, so we can get up in here and just spray this stuff with a gun. And then we're covering the whole truck with plastic right now. Make sure no overspray gets on the paint. Gonna take this plastic, tuck it up underneath, cover up what's left. Really the main reason we're covering the entire truck is because the last time we sprayed chassis saver on the frame, it ended up all over the paint. We had to buff and polish the whole truck, and all the glass, everything had black splatters all over it. That stuff just got super airborne, so we're not taking any chances this time. Make sure we're covering the whole truck and covering anything that could possibly get any overspray on it. So far, this is what it's looking like. Wrapping the truck in a big old burrito.
Ah! You scared me. I seen a reflection of something hideous.
Alright guys, so we got the truck all plasticed up. Everything's completely taped off. Tomorrow we'll probably go ahead and get in here and start priming this stuff, do a good cleaning on it. Got it all wrapped up, ready to go. See you guys tomorrow when we start doing some primering. Alright guys, so we got a thick coat of primer on everything. Obviously giving it a lot of time to dry.
When we have the paint, we'll go ahead and sand it.
Yeah.
And then what we'll do is touch up any spots that we might have sanded through, or anything that's got some trash in it or something that we need to sand, spray over. We'll spray a little more primer over and let it dry and so forth, so on.
Alright YouTube, it is another day, probably about a week later, since the last clip on painting the truck's frame. We kind of just been working on this thing on the weekends, so we hadn't been doing too much too fast. After we shot all the primer, let it dry for probably like the whole week. Last night, my dad actually came in here and sanded it. Really appreciate that, Dad. And today we're actually getting ready to go ahead and shoot a coat of paint on this stuff. Dad will be out here in a minute. You're gonna go ahead and crack open the paint, get some stuff mixed up, throw it in the gun, get ready to shoot it. What you doing, huh?
Nothing.
Alright guys, so now we're cleaning everything before we go ahead and get ready to paint it. Wax and grease remover and a microfiber. Typically, most people probably use a tack cloth here, but you don't really have to. Alright guys, so as you can see on the driver's side, there were some spots that gave a bad reaction when we put paint on it. Dad's working on sanding out little bitty reaction areas, and then when we finish doing that, probably gonna throw another coat on all this stuff, see how it goes. Alright guys, so after sanding it a few times and recoating it, every time we still got these little reaction areas here on this side, on the driver's side. So what we did was we sanded it and we sprayed it one more time, and we saw it still reacted again, so we just kind of sprayed everything pretty heavy this time over all of it, and the front, bottom down here, which turned out very well. The bottom turned out good, and then this side, after sanding it and recoating it a couple times, you can see it looks pretty good, which we're gonna have to, before we clear coat this, we're gonna have to sponge over everything one more time so the clear coat will stick. What we're gonna have to do, let this stuff cure for 24 hours and then see if we can figure out these little problem areas here. It's got some like alligator looking skin texture to it. The rest of it came out pretty smooth. Everything looks pretty damn good. Of course, you know, this is just paint. We haven't clear coated it yet. Once we get these problem areas worked out, then we'll go ahead and get ready to mix up some clear and spray some clear on it. Alright guys, so we just finished up probably the last coat of black on this stuff. Looks pretty good. I can't wait to see the results. I'm super excited for that, so y'all stick around. We're getting there. We're almost done. Alright guys, as y'all seen from the little montage, the results turned out absolutely phenomenal. We ended up putting 2 coats of clear on it. You know, just kind of started on this side, worked our way around, and then by the time we got back over here, it was already ready for another coat. So just went over everything again. It turned out so good, so good. But we're gonna let this dry for probably a couple days, and then we'll go ahead and start untaping everything and getting, you know, everything reassembled to where I can drive it again, and hopefully take it to a show or something here soon. That'd be pretty cool, because this stuff looks sweet, man. It looks freaking sweet. You can tell the dogs are even excited about it. They're just glad to be sitting in the shop chilling out. Anyway guys, we will definitely pick y'all back up whenever we start untaping everything and getting ready to reassemble, so we can actually see a real final product, which I'm stoked for. So y'all hang around for that. All right, YouTube, I want to throw y'all a little update in here. So we got everything untaped. This looks freaking immaculate. I love it. Really looks good, especially with all the powder coat showing now. So that's good. All right, update part. So the CV axles, the old ones actually started to get kind of rusty, which I know is really not that bad, but we're super picky. So these are the old ones. They had a little bit of rust on them here and there, didn't like it. So I contacted 1A Auto and actually warrantied out a new set, taped this off, painted it to match the powder coat, and I think they're gonna look phenomenal in here, especially having new CV axles. And then on the outside part where it rusted before, we're probably just gonna wipe them down with some sort of oil just to keep them oiled up, and so we don't have to worry about them rusting. Oh, need to throw y'all in here with this update as well. So in the Magoo's lift kit, they come with these tie rod or sway bar end links. I've actually had somebody message me before about this lift kit saying that they've had like multiple sets of these break, and mine actually broke. I don't know when it broke or how it broke, but I think when we were jacking it up and letting it down and jacking it up and letting it down, I think that's actually what broke it. Just because of the geometry change, it kind of got stressed out. You got to think it's a straight bar in there that gets bent like this, and it stresses out those threads that are up there. So over time it eventually broke, and to replace that and fix that issue, I actually picked up some Cognito sway bar end link. You see we got them on this wooden board because we painted them, clear coated them, but they actually have a joint on one end that allows them to have some movement in them, which will keep them from breaking. So right now my dad's eating dinner. I'm just waiting on him to help me get the shock back in. So we're gonna do the shock, the limit strap, and then we're gonna put the CV axle back in because it kind of has to go in order. So the shock will be easiest to get in with the CV axle out. So to go shock, limit strap, CV axle, and then we'll put the end links in. All right guys, so yesterday we got the truck all uncovered, all the plastics taken off, and all the stuff is untaped down here. And when we took it off, I think I showed there was like overspray all over the truck, so we went ahead and detailed everything. Everything's clean. Still gotta probably we're gonna put the front wheels back on and then jack the rear end up, take the back wheels off, and go ahead and fully clean them, clean the tires and all of that, because that's what I did to the front ones here. So I mean, we should be back driving this thing soon. The frame turned out freaking immaculate. It looks beautiful. Looks super good. Super good. Well, that being said guys, that pretty much wraps up this video. I'll probably throw in a picture at the end with the wheels on and everything for like the technical final result, you know, with it completely done and all that. But it turned out immaculate. It definitely took, you know, a lot of time, a lot of sanding. It wasn't easy, but it was definitely worth the result. Looks better than that chassis saver that we had on there before, so it's definitely worth it. But anyway guys, if y'all enjoyed the video, make sure y'all smash that like button down below and maybe drop a subscribe. Stick around for more content to come in the future. Yeah, we'll see y'all in the next video.
Hi.